Aiming for Wholeness. June 1, 2014. Do you remember that real confidence and esteem is always based in the emotion, never the self-image? In order to rebuild your confidence and to raise your low self-esteem, what is truly needed is to change how you see and feel emotionally about yourself. Changing of the emotion requires you to change your core belief or perception that you have towards yourself. The part of you that constantly has you believing you are not good enough, or smart enough, or even confident within your sexuality. The next thing to work on changing is what your image of success is. Changing your image of what success is or should be may at first seem a little contrary, but it is essential if you are to overcome any insecurities that may still be lingering, and to raise your precious esteem. Comprehend, dear ones, that holding on to a false self-image of what perfection is a major cause to your low self-esteem and confidence levels. When you are already holding in your mind an image of what success looks like, or what it should be, your emotions become associated with that image. What then occurs is that your mind gets busily to work and creates a comparison of what perfection is that is dependent on how you see yourself at the present moment. This comparison that is going on results in self-judgment that leads to self-rejection, because of not being able to meet that image of perfection. Self-rejection only results, dear ones, when you begin to feel unworthy, and from having low levels of self-esteem. We don't encourage you to seek perfection, but wholeness. When you aim for wholeness, you are willing to accept your weaknesses, your imperfections as part of who you are. You realize you are a balance of both, not one more than the other. There are a lot of dear souls among you that hold an image of perfection in their mind as a way to make themselves feel good, but what this image of perfection is doing is causing them to reject themselves, as they are constantly trying to please this image, to maintain it, and before long they are feeling not good enough, not smart enough, not pretty enough, not wealthy enough, and so on. If suddenly you were to end the notion that you have to fit into this image of perfection, automatically you would dissolve the need to reject yourself and bring an end to the feelings that you are unworthy. Each of you are worthy, you are deserving of compassion, of kindness and appreciation. In addition, each beautiful child of God is worthy of being treated with respect and decency. It is imperative, dear ones, that you find the part of you that tells you that you are not worthy or good enough and break this debilitating habit. It does not serve you well. This way of thinking and feeling of yourself is not productive, and does not give room for change or improvement, nor does it make way for God's light to illuminate a pathway for you to follow. When you are strong in how you think of yourself and feel towards your whole self, you will not fall into the ego trap of self-judgments and self-rejection. The image of perfection that is created and held within your mind needs to be dissolved and let go. This is a hard thing to do simply because you have attached certain emotions to this image that led you to believe what is needed to be positively happy and successful. Your mind is already cleverly programmed to associate certain emotions with the images you hold in your mind. So if you can change these feelings, you are able to change the image. What many dear souls may not be aware of is that attaining that perfect image of what success is, does not sufficiently alter their emotional place. There is no permanent altercation or change in the way the little voice inside your head speaks to you, nor does it change how you believe about yourself. We have witnessed on many occasions, people reaching their goals only to find themselves feeling disappointedly unfulfilled and not satisfied. The euphoria that is associated upon completion of a goal may be short-lived. As a result, if you have feelings of disappointment, dissatisfaction, where you still find yourself feeling not good enough, your critical voice needs to be dampened if you are going to succeed in ways that make room for sheer happiness and pure joy. It is great to have high goals for yourself, dear ones, just don't become so dependent on them that your self-worth is at stake. Only you can bring changes to how you think and feel about yourself. You must be honest and truthful with yourself, no longer hiding behind excuses or waiting for a certain day or time. Time keeps moving, never does it stop, so the time to bring such changes to your emotions is now, dear ones, not tomorrow, as tomorrow is not a promise. Putting an end to believing you are not capable or good enough is held within the grasp of fear, and before you can change this way of thinking, first you must overcome your fears and insecurities. You need to recognize what it is you fear, and why. What has caused you to feel afraid? Why is it hard to accept yourself as whole now? Every time you seek perfection, you are pushing aside the opportunity to see yourself as already whole. Perfection is what the ego seeks, but it does not necessarily bring out your whole authentic self, just the image you have inside your head. In order to change this image of perfection, dear ones, you must become more aware of your non-ego self, and realize the harm it has done. Having awareness of your non-ego self will help you to shift how you think about yourself, as you are allowing truth to filter in and to move forward by changing how you perceive yourself. There is something you need to know. When you make the effort to change the inner self-rejection, verbal assault that you are not good enough, it becomes much easier to dissolve the image of perfection. When there is no image of perfection for your mind to refer to or to compare by, there is no unworthiness, just simple and pure acceptance. All those images that are in your mind, you created them, no one else did, and those images are not who you truly are. When you are going through life with a lack of awareness about how your mind manipulates you or misdirects your journey, you will only be provided with outcomes of failed efforts that will lower your confidence and esteem. There are many dear souls that use the image of perfection to boost their confidence, but such an image takes a great deal of energy to maintain, and over time this energy becomes depleted. When you are moving forward with awareness, you are able to avoid chasing false beliefs, and you would be spending more time on what would truly make a positive difference to how you feel and think about yourself. Remember, dear ones, real and permanent change begins only when you notice how you feel about yourself, when you become aware of the beliefs, feelings, and thoughts that are going on in your busy mind. Then you need to change these, one step at a time. Changing how you feel and think of yourself is a great and wonderful journey, one that will lead you to many new challenges, excitement, and thrills as you get to know yourself, truly as a whole person, filled with as many flaws as there are strengths. Did you know, dear ones, that many of your insecurities have come from focusing on the things in your life that you find difficult or having trouble with? Try to remember each person has strengths and weaknesses, strong and weak points. Instead of focusing so hard on your weak points or weaknesses, accept them but work on your strengths and good points. Acknowledge that your weaknesses are a part of you, but you are also filled with so many good and wonderful points. Regardless of any insecurities that you may have, if you take some time to reflect and look back on your life up to now, you will realize that you have had success, and the success that you have experienced all came from your good qualities. It is up to you to discover those qualities, and to improve them and to enhance them. That will help lead you to providing yourself a more successful and satisfying life. If you take those good qualities and learn from them from applying pure focus, you will begin to remember that you are worthy and that you are capable, and those skills, those good qualities will help you make better choices. Remember what you can do, instead of playing in your mind what you can't. One of the most qualifying keys to overcoming your insecurities, raising your confidence, esteem, and self-worth is truthfully and honestly becoming aware of them, being able to identify them, then cancel them out and move past them. We encourage you to focus on your accomplishments, on the things and areas you already can do well, and realize that any insecurity that raises its head is coming from a place of fear and feelings of inadequacy. There is much to learn from your feelings that are to better yourself. Try to remember, dear ones, that the faults or weaknesses that you have are no more noticeable or damaging to your success than any other dear souls, unless you give them this power where they get the better part of you. Think about what failure truly is. In truth, it tends to be a self-fulfilling prediction or prophecy. If you worry too much that you will not succeed, your performance may very well be affected, and all your fearful contemplations will become an actual reality. Give yourself the love that you so deserve. See yourself as being capable of achieving, worthy of being treated with respect. Who you are underneath any image of perfection is sheer spectacular. It is your authentic, real self that we encourage you to shine from. It is what we of the divine already see, not the image of what should be. Be the real whole you. Take one step at a time, and allow your real self to emerge, facing the world with great inner strength, and shine, dear ones, from the purity of your heart and soul. Instead of being your own judge and jury, how about becoming your own friend? I am Melchizedek through Julie Miller. spiritualnetworks.com